Okay, it says simplify this radical expression, write your answer in exact form without decimals to enter yada, yada, yada. So the first thing we have to look at is this square root, the square root of 128. So that negative is going to come out, and that's going to be an I out front. So we can kind of just disregard that because the square root of a negative is I. So there will be an I in our answer. So I need to figure out, how do I simplify the square root of 128? Well, to do that, you're going to look for perfect squares that go into that number. Perfect squares are numbers like 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. This is 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, 5 squared, 6 squared, 49. So which one of these go in here? Well, 4 goes into this. So I can write this as 4 times 32. Okay, well, 4, I can leave that because that's a perfect square. 32, can I write 32 as a perfect square? Well, 32 is going to be 16 times 2. So I can write the square root of 128 as the square root of 4 times 16 times 2. Well, the square root of 4, I can bring that out. That's going to be a 2. Square root of 16, I can bring that out. That's going to be a 4. And I'm left with the root 2 inside. So this is going to be the same thing as 8 times the square root of 2. So if I rewrite this whole thing, it's going to look like this. 20 plus or minus 8i root 2 over negative 8. So now I need to simplify the numbers in each of my terms. I have 20, 8, and negative 8. I'm trying to look for a number, the largest number that goes into all three. 28, negative 8, I can take a 4 out. So if I divide them all by 4, I'll have the simplified version. 20 divided by 4 is 5, plus or minus. 8 divided by 4 is 2. This is 2i root 2. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Keep the negative. So our answer is going to look like that. Oh, it's not plus minus. I kept writing plus minus. That's usually what it is. But it says here it's just plus. So this should just be plus. And that's the only place. Okay. This is an object is thrown upward at a speed of 74 feet per second by a machine from a height of 12 feet above the ground. H is the height of the object after t seconds. When, so we're looking for t, will the height be 94? When will h be 94? So I'm just going to rewrite this, but replace the h with 94. So I get 94 equals negative 16t squared plus 74t plus 12. I want to apply the quadratic formula, so I have to get everything onto one side. So I'm going to subtract 94. So I have 0 equals negative 16t squared plus 74t minus 82. Okay, so now I can dive into the quadratic formula. If I have this quadratic equal to 0, that means t equals negative b, which is negative 74, plus or minus the square root of 74 squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a, which is negative 16 times 2, or negative 32. So now I can Always, well, I could put the whole thing in the calculator in one step. Let's do that. That's actually pretty easy. So I'll turn my calculator on. I'm going to start by creating this fraction bar. I'm going to hit alpha, y equals, enter. So I have this fraction bar here. Negative 74. Whoops, didn't mean to hit enter. Let's go grab that again. Negative 74 plus the square root of 74 squared minus 4 times negative 16 times negative 82 over negative 32. 1.8, and if you do the same thing, but make it negative, then we'll have both of our answers, minus 2.78. So here it says list all solutions with commas between them. So since both my answers are positive, they both make sense. One decimal place, this will be 1.8 and 2.8. And this is saying when. We're looking for when. So this is just going to be seconds. When will the object reach the ground? So we're still looking for t. Reach the ground when height is 0. So you'll just do the same thing, but you're going to set it equal to 0 instead. So when you get to this second step, it's just going to look like this. This is still going to be plus 12. So you'll do the same thing, but use this. So here, your C will be different, but that'll give you your answer here. You will get two answers. One will be positive, one will be negative. Make sure to use the positive answer because we're talking about time, which means we're still in seconds. And this one I think is similar. Cannonball is launched into the air with upward velocity of 339 feet per second from an 8-foot tall cannon. Yada, yada, yada. The approximately how long will it take for the cannon to be 174 feet high? Do the same thing. We're going to let how long will it take, so we're looking for t when h equals 174. So I have 174 equals negative 16t squared plus 339t plus 8. Get this by itself, set it equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 174, from both sides. So I have 0 equals negative 16 t squared plus 339t minus 166. And then you can dive into the quadratic formula from there. That'll give you your two answers separated with a comma. Units, this is in time, so this will still be seconds. How long will it take to hit the ground? Set this thing equal to 0 and solve using the quadratic formula. How long? Still in seconds. And that's it.